Hello everyone, welcome to today's episode of the Osasu Show. Nigeria is faced with an unprecedented wave of different but overlapping security crises. From kidnapping to extremist insurgencies, almost every corner of the country has been hit by violence and crime. The scale of insecurity threatens the very fabric of Nigerian society. With every attack, human lives are lost, properties damaged, and faith in democracy and the country diminished. When President Muhammadu Buhari was elected in 2015, he promised to protect citizens from terrorists and criminals. But there are less than 2 years left of his administration, and the country is more unstable than it's been in decades. Some have linked the recent surge of insecurity to the staggering poverty across the country. Youth unemployment currently stands at 32.5%, and the country is in the middle of one of the worst economic downturns in 27 years. The Naira has been devalued by over 300%, and as confirmed by the Minister of Police Affairs, across the country, Nigerians are attacked on nearly a daily basis. On today's episode of the Osasu Show, we'll be discussing the state of the nation with an elder statesman and former ally to the incumbent president. Stay tuned for this intriguing episode. North to South Africa, East to West Africa, TOS TV Network is your digital-first Pan-African news network, bringing you news from across the continent. Visit our website www.tostvnetwork.com and follow us on social media at TOS TV Network on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Joining me now is Alhaji Buba Galadima. Thank you so much for coming in today's program.
Thank you very much for having me on this great program.
You're most welcome, sir. It's such a delight having you on here. As an elder statesman, you've contributed a lot to national policy and dialogue across the country. So I would like your opinion on what I had said earlier on in my introduction. The Minister of Police Affairs admitted that on a daily basis, Nigerians across the 36 states and the FCT are being attacked by bandits, Boko Haram, and other insurgent groups. What is your reaction to this?
Well, my first reaction is that I commend the Honorable Minister of Police Affairs for having the courage as a public officer to say the obvious. Most government officials would want to deny that things like this are happening on a second by second, minute by minute basis across our country. If I could describe a gloomy situation of attacks across Nigeria in the last 3 days, most Nigerians will be shocked to their bone marrow. One, just about 11 p.m. late into the night on Kaduna-Abuja Road, bandits have blocked the road, carried as many travelers in the night as possible. And just yesterday, as we were having a very high-level meeting around 10 o'clock, we received a distress call that bandits have been kidnapping people along one of the busiest roads in Nigeria between Kaduna and Zaria. Not to say that on Saturday, again at Bali, in Taraba State, open daylight in the market, grain markets. People come from Lagos, from Ibadan, from Kano, from all over the country to buy rice paddy, to buy wheat, to buy beans, to buy all sorts of grains. They just barricaded the entire market and carried as many traders as they could have wanted. Of course, on Sunday, between Maiduguri and Damaturu, again, with all the presence of checkpoints, I think whether it is Boko Haram or kidnappers or bandits, 2 buses were stopped. 43 people were abducted. And this is a daily, not daily, an hourly occurrence on our roads. If anything happens to you and you can't fly, then you are sorry, you have to spend the whole night praying for God to save you in order to travel. Therefore, for a public officer on the level of a minister coming out to say the obvious, to me, is an admission of the obvious and is the height of the truth. Not those who would say everything is possible, everything is under control, and that we are on top of the situation. No, government really is not on the top of the situation.
I wonder, President Muhammadu Buhari is your former ally. You worked with him side by side for so many years. You believed in his capacity to lead us, to govern us as president. That's why you campaigned for him when he was a member of the CPC, even when he joined the APC. What made you think that he had the capacity to fight insurgency? Because he has only 2 years left in his administration. And one of the key components of his campaign was to bring insecurity to its barest minimum. Yet we see Nigerians being attacked, according to the Minister of Police Affairs, on a daily basis now. Insurgency has become worse than it's ever been in the country. So, in your opinion, or from your experience with the incumbent President Muhammadu Buhari, why did you believe he had the capacity to fight insurgency to its barest minimum?
Well, Osasu, let me first make a small correction. That if I am not, at least I could say that we were part of those who persuaded the general, because of prevalent insecurity in the northeastern part of the country, persuaded him to join partisan politics in 2002. 34 of us started the journey. By 2015, only 2 of us remained out of those 34 people. Most people, maybe some people died, most people left because they might have seen something that we were not able to detect. Coming back to your question, every normal human being, as Tinubu said, when France was in the want of somebody to secure France, they turned to General de Gaulle. When America was in need of a general to take charge and bring the country into sanity, General Eisenhower was readily available. And even on the African soil, when Egypt was in need of a leader to direct its affairs and sort out its security problems, they turned to General Gamal Abdel Nasser, Colonel Abdel Nasser, and a host of several others in the world. And we thought that somebody with the military training of a general, somebody who had been a GOC, somebody who had been there as commander-in-chief would have been the most appropriate person to tackle insecurity problems in the country. It is not about Buhari's person as an individual now, but it was about his background, that if a person with that pedigree could not sort out the security of Nigerians, protect their lives and protect their property, then we are in trouble.
So we are in trouble?
Of course we are.
Deep trouble.
Problem.
So Nigerians would blame you, right? Because, as you said, you're one of the very few who remained and encouraged, the president to vie for this very strenuous cumbersome, position of power. And now that he's there, he has only 2 years left. And as we could see, attacks every single day, lives being lost, properties being damaged, so Nigerians would blame you. Would you accept the onus of the blame?
Well, I would have no choice because I had a misplaced trust, which I now found out that I was wrong. And it is important to accept blame for what you did. But I would also want to say that when I observed the deficiencies in the man, I had the courage to come out to tell Nigerians, don't vote him back in. So whatever might have happened from 2019 upwards would be the fault of Nigerians. So as me, they also made a misplaced judgment on the man. We have 2 years. He has 1.5 years left, not 2. 1.5 years left. I don't think the president have the magic wand to turn the security situation around. Because for me, either him or his government doesn't have the will to really sort out our security problems in the country. Of course, you can remember the president himself and many other senior officers of government told us, including the Attorney General, that they know the sponsors of this insecurity across the country. Yet, they don't feel obliged to tell Nigerians who are those people. And if they know those people, they can't arrest them. In fact, you could remember Jonathan said that people promoting Boko Haram were in his own government. Mm-hmm. And so also these ones. So I am now at a loss as to whom to trust again in Nigeria. I don't think at the rate we are going, we will be near sorting out the security problems before the next election.
Sir, you made a good point that with the lack of willpower to sort out the insecurity issues, nothing will change. You also said that these young men and women who are joining, the insurgent groups, it's for a reason. Unemployment amongst youth is at over 32%. So whoever comes into power, a male, a female in 2023, that person has to have innovative ideas to spur up economic development, employment amongst youth and other members of society. But from your analysis on the permutations of who is showing willingness to lead on that presidential level, do you believe any of them have the capacity to create jobs, to quell these insecurity that continues to rise and take over Nigeria? Do you believe anyone who has shown interest so far, especially within the established politicians, have the capacity to change things?
Osasu, let me assure you, for us to get this country on track, we must throw away primordial sentiments of who the leader should be, from where he should be, to which section of the country he belongs, to which religion he belongs, to which ethnic groups he belongs. Nigerians must stand up and put their thinking cap to look at who really, from his pedigree, can bring Nigeria to the path of growth, to the path of peace, and to the path of development. If we do say that no, it has to be primordial sentiments will be considered, then we will get into the same trouble we are in now. And I said, one of them, whom I know very closely, have held public offices, both as an executive, being a governor for 8 years, as a minister for 4 years, and as a rep member for 2 years, and was even a deputy speaker of the House of Representatives, was a senator, was an ambassador, and these are qualifications all over the world that catapult people with knowledge and experience into presidential or prime ministership positions in the countries. And it is not because of the positions they held, but look at it. While in public office, what has that person done? And I can tell you, Osasu, that the person I'm talking about, without mentioning name, in 4 years, in his last 4 years as governor, after coming back, established 88 secondary schools in his 44 local governments in his state. In each of the local governments, he has one formal secondary school and one technical school to prepare students for onerous task of participating in the private sector. Such a person established 2 universities. Such a person established 6 polytechnics. Such a person established 4 colleges of education. Such a person sponsored to 2,600 students to 14 countries of the world. Such a person built 320-bed hostels in 13 states of the Federation, so 6 in the South, 7 in the North, including your grandfather's university. So, and after he left public office, he sponsored 370 students from his state to run a master's degrees in countries outside Nigeria. And as a private citizen again, he sponsored 70 students to do PhD. And he just recently came by visiting those students all over the world and established a new university, now private university, in Abuja here, and sponsored 4 students from every state of the Federation, 2 girls, 2 men. He established 26 institutes. What you need is a leader with foresight. Some of the institutes, to tell you the worst of the 2 institutes, a sports institute and a security institute. That security institute, when they were graduating their 1,000 first intake students, I was there. And he asked each and every one of them that, look, is there any of you who hasn't gotten a job? If you don't, raise your hand. None. Have you all gotten a job? Yes. Raise your hand. And they threw their hat into the air.
You're talking about Senator Rabi.
No. I'm not talking. I don't want to mention name.
Well, it's very clear because I've gone through his profile. I've gone through the achievements he has made, and it's very clear that's who you're referring to because he's the only person that has actually achieved all that you have reeled out. But my question to you now is that based on the Igbo agitation that they haven't gotten a fair share of presidency, I saw a recent report that you said you will not be supporting an Igbo presidency, but you'll be supporting a candidate that is for all Nigerians and you believe would be able to drive the country forward. So in your wealth of experience as an elder statesman, how do you believe we can carry along all regions, all 6 geopolitical zones, each and every tribe and religion to be reflective of the Nigerian people in terms of who earns that presidential seat?
Osasu, let me start again with myself. I told you that if I'm not the first, in fact, I called the first meeting at Bashir al-Hattu's house. Bashir al-Hattu was the former in-law to General Abacha, married to Zainab, his daughter. He was a minister in Abacha's government, in Shonekan's government. And 34 people I called to see in 2002, January, to see how we can bring a change in the country. And I don't want to go into that detail, That was what now made Buhari president of Nigeria. We didn't zero on him because he's from the north, he's a Muslim. Because we made a list of people and we contacted those people. All of them rejected. It was only him that was dilly-dallying until we got a businessman called Alhaji Ahmad Yaro to go and talk to him to join partisan politics. Now, in all intents and purposes, he is a Muslim, I'm a Muslim, he's from the north, I'm from the north, and it would have gone, it could have been said that, look, I'm in it. Of what value is his presidency to me, or to Northerners, or to Muslims? So the person, it is what the person we would be looking for as our president is somebody with foresight, somebody with a plan, somebody with a large heart that can accommodate all Nigerians as his own, not which tribe you belong to. Because when we try to regionalize leadership or tribalize it or religionalize it, it means that when the man comes in, he will be only working for his tribe, or he will be working for his religion, or he will be working for where he comes from. In all spheres of life, we have good Nigerians. And in all sections of the country, Abiola defeated Tofa in his polling booth in Kano. He was a Yoruba man. Why? Because of his philanthropic gestures at that time. Maybe you may not know. And Obasanjo became president when he got less than 2% of the votes from Southwest. Nigerians had believed that at that point in time, we needed a strong man that can bring the country together and hold it. We are at the verge of that problem. Who is it that has the foresight and the ideas to douse tension, to accommodate everybody, to bring development, to employment, so that we get out of this restive mood in our country?
That question is a fine place to leave this conversation. Alhaji Buba Galadima, thank you so much for your time. We'll take a break right now. When we return, we'll be rounding up the program. Don't go anywhere. North to South Africa. East to West Africa. TOS TV Network is your digital-first Pan-African news network, bringing you news from across the continent. Visit our website www.tostvnetwork.com and follow us on social media at TOS TV Network on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. That's it for today's program. Do follow us on social media at TOS TV Network, at Osasu Igbenejo, and at The Osasu Show on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. To read news on sustainable development and current affairs across Africa, you could visit our website www.tostvnetwork.com. I'll see you same time, same place next week. Until then, the Omicron variant of the COVID-19 virus is attacking a lot of people. Please stay safe, wear your mask, wash your hands, practice social distancing, and take very good care of yourself. All right, God bless you.